trading my silver for their gold using the gold to silver ratio. I have been having an absolute blast this week. Let's talk about it. YouTube, Vertical Stacker here, and this video today is a follow-up to my video that I put out last week where I showed you how easy it was to liquidate American Silver Eagles even in market conditions where the premiums are out of this world. I was able to liquidate a lot of ASEs at a price that I think was reasonable, particularly given where the market price from the online bullion dealers has been. So it worked for me. It was a win-win. People wanted them, and I wanted the fiat to do some other investments that I have going on, and so it was a really good situation. And I started thinking, I'd like to increase my gold positions, but without putting the cash into it, I should start thinking about the gold to silver ratio, because I have just a ton of generic silver as well, both in rounds and in bars. And so I started putting my feelers out there in the community, and sure enough, I started getting bite after bite after bite. I even had local coin shops calling me saying, hey, we understand you have some silver. We would like to buy it from you. Well, we're going to talk about that more in just a minute. But for now, I want to just kind of share with you briefly what I did on the GSR to acquire these 4 ounces of gold. One of them might surprise you. The ratio was sitting about 67-1 this week. And as I talked with people who wanted to get silver, I said, I'm willing to trade at the ratio. And we would meet over at a police station and we would talk about it. I would show them, what I had. They would show me what they had. Some of them, it seemed like a lot of people had Krugerrands. That must be like the redheaded stepchild of the gold community, because nobody really wanted to get rid of the Eagles and the Maples or any other, really nice silver coins. They were all like, here, I have a Krugerrand, I have a Krugerrand, I have a Krugerrand. This particular guy that I got this from had like 10 of them. And I said, no, I don't want 10 Krugs. I'll take one, but I don't need 10. Funny story behind that one too, and I'll get there in a minute. And then the Valcambi bar, I'm not a fan of bars, but all of the Valcambi products seem to be really good, high quality products. So I went ahead and acquired that bar as well. These 3 I was able to acquire at a 67-1 ratio. 67 generic rounds of silver, whether it was Sunshine Minting or these generic Buffalo rounds or some Sunshine Minting bars. 67 ounces, handed it to them, and they handed me their 1 ounce of gold. Of course, I used my Sigma Metalytics tester to make sure that the gold that they were giving me was valid and good. And it worked out very, very well. Funny story behind this one, though, before I get to the Gold Eagle. I had a coin shop call me, and I know the guy, and he doesn't know me by my number, and he probably doesn't really know me all that well by my name, because I'm sure there are a lot of verticals that walk around buying gold and silver, right? And so I get this phone call and he says, hey, I'm really interested. I hear you have some silver for sale. I am willing to pay you $1 over spot. And I said, gosh, that's a really nice offer, but I'm getting quite a bit more value out of doing trading, at least in my mind. If I did the math, it probably would have made more sense to sell them for $1 over perhaps, and then just go try to buy the gold outright. But I didn't want to mess with that. Time is money. And so I just said, no, I have to command more than that in order to get the fair value out of what I'm trying to do here. And so he said, all right, well, if you change your mind, just come on down and we'll work a deal. And I just said, well, I'm the one that has it for sale. Why don't you come on over and meet me? And I was nice about it, but it was just kind of funny that I'm the one that says, hey, I'm trading this at the GSR. If you're interested, give me a call. And then this gentleman calls and says, hey, why don't you come down to my office and we'll talk about it. Well, there's a reason why I didn't want to do that. First of all, in in negotiating, and one of the principles in negotiating is always retain the power of the deal. Always try to keep the benefit of the bargain in your court. So for me to pack up my stuff and go to his location is conceding that I need him more than he needs me, and I'll never do that in a negotiation unless I'm compelled to do so for some reason. But in this particular situation, certainly I'm not compelled. I don't care whether I get more gold. I'll keep my silver just fine. I want more gold, and I want to use the GSR to get there, but not at risk of losing my negotiating power. So I declined, and what's interesting is you see this tag right here? This tag comes from his LCS. Let me focus on that. His tag comes from the LCS. So I think what he did is he really wanted some silver, because I know folks are really low on inventory right now. Really, really low on inventory and having a hard time getting any product in. And so I think he sent one of his employees to trade me that Krug for 67 ounces of silver that I'm sure he probably went and marked up, $3 or $4 an ounce and sold them. Well, good for him. Good for him. If he can make some little money, I'm fine. But, they wanted to sell me a lot more Krugs, I can tell you that, and I just did not want to take a bunch of Krugs on trade. I am more interested in eagles and maples and other, sovereign gold coins. The Valcambi bar, again, I really, really like that, so I decided I'd take a swing with that one. But 67-1 on those three. Well, what about this? What about this gold eagle? What do you suppose I did with this gold eagle? So the guy comes, and we're sitting there talking on the tailgate of his truck. And I've got my Sigma out ready to roll, and he starts saying, well, what I'm really looking for are eagles. And I said, I can help you with that. I happen to have a few rolls of eagles with me. Now, I wasn't anticipating doing the trade with eagles. I fully anticipated doing the trade with another 67. I probably would have gone up another couple for the eagle. But, we started talking. He says, yeah, I'll do eagles. If you'll give me 67 of the eagles, then that's a square trade. And I said, that is not even close to a square trade. And let me tell you why. And then I told him what I'd been doing last week as far as liquidating my eagles and how many I went through. And, I think he realized at that point that, I was not about to just give up 67 eagles for his one gold eagle. So I said, look, I'll offer you 50. And he kind of hummed and hawed about it and didn't really want to take that deal. And he says, well, let me think about it. And I says, well, you think about it. You think about it, but I'll let you know, I've got all the LCSs in this area, except one. I've got all the LCSs in this area calling me, trying to get some silver. I shouldn't say all. There's several of them in different areas, but I've got several of the LCSs in this area calling me to get some silver. I've got a bunch of people lined up that I'm going to be meeting with this week. I've got 2 more today, by the way, folks, for 2 more ounces of gold. And I said, if you don't take this deal, that's okay. I respect that. Maybe we can do a combo of eagles and bullion. And he says, no, I'm not interested in the bullion. So suddenly he shifted. Originally he was going to take the bullion, and now I've got him, right? Now I've got him because his main focus is on the eagles. So he gave up a pretty valuable position in bargaining with generics to then basically put all of his chips on the eagles. So at that point, I was fairly confident I had a deal. And so I just said, I don't want to waste your time, and I've got some other stuff I got to go do. So if you don't want to take 50 for your gold eagle, I totally get that, not a problem. And let me know if that changes. As I'm walking away, I hear him go, forget it. He said something different, but he said, I'll forget it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the deal. So I was like, sweet, yeah, all right, let's do it. And he says, can I get 60? And I said, no, I'll offer you 50, but if you want to pay the difference in cash, I'll give you 60. And my cash price, of course, was $35 each. So he ended up giving me, for 60 gold eagles, he ended up giving me, 60 silver eagles, he ended up giving me the 1 American gold eagle here and $350 cash. That was a good deal, I think, on my end. I have 2 more deals going here in just a couple of hours today that I'm super excited about. There are more Eagles, and they have not yet talked about trading for Silver Eagles. I'm still going to try to trade out my generic, and I'm going to offer them 67 to 1 and see if they'll bite. And if not, then maybe I'll do the same thing and try to get a 50 to 1 ratio GSR to get some Eagles. I would do that all day long, every day, if I had a lot more of these. I'm getting down in my inventory where I only have so many tubes left, but I have a ton of generic stuff. So I'm trying to go that route first, but if they hum and haw about it, then I might, throw them a bone and see if they want to take 50 American Silver Eagles for their gold. Anyway, how did I do? I think I did okay, even with these. 67. If you knew, I think my $12, $13, $14 an ounce is probably what I paid for these some time ago. Maybe 15 or 16. I can't remember exactly, and I don't keep that close track of it, but I know it was way less than where we are today. So for me to use this generic silver to pick up those 3 ounces of gold and these Silver Eagles to pick up that gold eagle, I am super stoked. 2 more deals today. I'll probably make another follow-up video either later this week or early next week. But American Silver Eagles, they're super liquid, and don't discount them. Don't discount them in using the premiums to your advantage if you're going to trade the GSR. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Vertical Stacker, take care.